While Apple is the biggest stock in the S&P 500 by weighting, Microsoft is right behind it. And Microsoft reports earnings tomorrow, Tuesday, July 25th. So let's take a look at the charts going from a monthly to weekly to daily time frame to see what information we can gather ahead of that earnings announcement. I'm Hima Reddy, and I use price, time, and momentum to boost my trading and that of my tribes. So here we are on the monthly chart of Microsoft. Every candlestick representing 1 month of price action. We have my RSI power zones down below, my favorite momentum indicator. So when I say price, time, and momentum, I mean the price axis, the actual times and dates that events occur, and the RSI power zones readings. So most simply, we can see that the market has taken out the November 2021 high. However, so far in doing this on the monthly chart, it has yet to return to comparable momentum levels from that time. So that gives me a little bit of pause about how much more upside is in Microsoft in the next coming weeks. But for now, what I'm going to do is just mark off a support level on the monthly chart. So here it is, okay? Last month's low. I'm going to now change this to a weekly time frame. So all my data now changes to weekly candlesticks, weekly momentum readings, and my support from the monthly chart rather stays intact. All right, so now we can see that this action that had taken out that November 2021 high is showing some long upper shadows on these candlesticks. That generally means that upside momentum is fading. And again, here on the weekly chart as well, the momentum has not exceeded that from the November 2021 highs. So still makes me a little wary how much upside is left. I also see a new support level that I want to monitor on the monthly chart, or the weekly chart, I should say, and that is this July 14th low. All right, now let's get down to the daily chart. So we're just going to change the time frame of this particular chart. So there were 2 times in 2023 here where I had the Microsoft ticker in my stock picks grid. Both times it was what I call a persistent uptrend, meaning that I thought the move kind of was running out of steam and you should protect your position. So let me show you what I mean here. So now on this chart, I've added those 2 dates that I had that persistent uptrend call. That was early April and then mid of June. And you can see these little crosshair intersections. Those were the exact target points of forecasts I'd previously drawn. So you could see why I thought the market might be running out of steam here, because it didn't make it up to the forecast and it did peel back for a bit. As for June 16th, it also pulled back from that area. This was after overshooting the forecast, right? Meeting in price and time at those levels, but actually going past it. And those of you who are my loss forecasting students, you know that the forecasts I teach you to draw are minimum targets. So this makes sense here. So now let's look at what's going on currently. Again, bringing in those weekly and monthly support levels and take a look at what is unfolding on Microsoft. So right now, Microsoft is kind of in between zones. It's not distinctly in one set of my RSI power zones. It is working off the most recent peak at 70.35. So this is a kind of choppy, volatile, but still uptrending market. And I want to now look at how far down it's retraced. So I use something called Gann 8's retracements, and you can see those levels here. So it's come to 62.5, pushed a little bit lower, 75%. Honestly, it's not really giving me a lot of information. And this is how I do my analysis, guys, as I teach you as well. I go through the steps, but if the step I apply isn't useful, I don't just keep it there on my chart, right? I want to reduce the clutter. Something else I see here is how we came to this old top. So there's 342.99 and 342.73. So this was the older top, higher of this pair. And you can see that the market has not been able to close below it. So that is a short-term support level that may be supporting Microsoft in the near term. So bottom line on Microsoft, okay, knowing that we're coming into earnings, but still just kind of looking at it per the price action, it looks like there's room for it to continue higher so long as it stays above this set of data here, this June 10th low. Or rather, this June 11th low. See, sometimes even I look and I can't tell which one's lower, and then when you identify the extreme, that's the one you want to monitor. So support at 332.86, 329.93, and then 327, which matched our weekly support. Then the 322.50. Do you see how this analysis is now right away giving me 4 support levels to monitor? That's the kind of technique I'm using when I'm doing a top stock report or writing any of my skinny reports on futures or the SPY. All right, let's look at the upside. If we recover higher from here, whether we go down first or recover higher out of the gate, this is where I want to go intraday. So I'm going to go to a 60-minute chart to see how the resistance breaks up here. First, I'm going to mark this most recent high. Okay, so now let's move to the intraday chart. Let's change this to a 60-minute time frame. All right, so applying all of the same type of analysis here, you can see in the 60-minute chart, there's been more of a extended downtrend after that 366.78 high. Again, testing that old top at 342.99. And I came in here again to find the more recent resistance levels. So the one that I see here first is 350.30 because that is the lower price high that's defining the downtrend from 366.78. After that is 357.44. And then after that is this range here, 362.21, 364.50, up to that 366.78 high. So there you have it. That shows you what I'm seeing on Microsoft heading to earnings as of today's current price action. And of course, as these levels change, if the market trades through them, then you can adapt to new ones. But that's the technique to start from a monthly chart, come down to a weekly, a daily, and a 60-minute to be able to pull levels to be ready to trade, whether it's earnings season or not. So big picture, there is room for Microsoft to resume higher, but there's also short-term room for it to continue back towards that 330 level. So we will see what unfolds into earnings, and I'll catch you guys next time.